Hello everyone. You'll probably notice that I have my Buddha earrings on, which means it's time for enlightenment for lazy people. I like to be totally like goth with Buddha earrings on because it's like I'm trying to get enlightened here.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good. The lazy way of enlightenment is you're automatically enlightened when you wear Buddha earrings. Bam.
Oh man. I
Ready
was,
to go.
huh?
Ready to go.
Yeah. I wasn't
Mm.
that lazy because I like put on an outfit, so you can't say I'm lazy.
It's true.
All
It's
right, so
true.
last week we kind of talked about how you can look at life as a movie. Oh, nice. Blessed.
Thank you.
Do you really feel blessed right now?
I do because my BFF sent this to me in the mail, so
Mm.
there's some
Wow.
blessed.
Um, okay, so last week we learned that you can look at life as a movie. You can kind of have the detachment of enlightenment, and that you should align your stim search with your life path and purpose, which is one way to enlightenment. Today's first lesson is everything is as it is. So it's like it says every scene in the movie that we're watching is how it should be. Everything you do, the choices you make happen by themselves. You have never done anything wrong. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think, well, what you've taught me from astrology, is if you look at a person's chart or that's kind of a schematic to how they will be and how they'll be inclined to act or choose or feel or whatever. So it's like your kind of built-in preferences. And so I think that's a big part of like the way that we, you know, by default would feel or make choices, that kind of stuff.
And so what do you think, Claudia?
Well, it's hard to think that we have no choice. I mean, it's wonderful to think we never do anything wrong, but you kind of think you have a little grip about how life is happening. But yeah, they say you don't. And actually, I thought of something in my astrological chart. There is something that says that I will grow and develop better if I move west. And I've moved twice west. So, and now I'm across the ocean west. So it's really, really far west. And yeah, and so was it a choice or was it just in my chart and I've never choose to go? I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to think we have no choice. Well, I like to think I have a little influence on my life, but yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, I wrangled with this as an astrologer once where because everyone's like free will this, free will that, and I'm like, but I can't even control what I think. It's like my thought. I don't know that we even have free will over our thoughts because it's like what Jay-Z was saying is that because of our soul census machine, how our chart is inclined, we're inclined towards certain thoughts, and that's the question is like, do we have free will over those things? I think the dance is kind of like this fate and free will spectrum of like, the serenity prayer is like God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage with courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I mean, I feel like at the Moira Press, we're always dancing that line of, you know, change what you can or control what you can, but accept what you can. And so I think that this is kind of taking it of like everything's out of your control, just chill, and which is
Yeah, but it's also like you have no responsibility. And that is also something I like, what? But when you work, you have some responsibilities. As a parent, you have some responsibilities. As a friend, you have some responsibilities. So I can't phantom the no responsibility thing.
Hmm.
Mm.
I mean, I guess it does bring us to that more state of having light within when we're like, everything's meant to be as it should. It's kind of like the chill and accept clause in here.
Yeah, but it's accepting like everything, like flow about everything. And yeah, be in a meditative state all the time. And yeah, that is quite a challenge, I guess.
Well, can it all be true also that even though you're compelled to do something, you still have the responsibilities and will incur the consequences of your choices?
Yeah, but it's not your choice. I
Well, say of the things that your character chooses to do
Yes,
in the
during
world,
the movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Like those, say, we'll call them like false choices or whatever. It's the character thinking they have a choice, choosing to do something, doing it, and then encountering the consequences of that, whatever
Pass.
choice,
Yeah.
action.
Mm.
And that is what life is, but it's still a movie that has a certain plot line that's unfolding in the now.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
in the movie theater, there's all genres are acceptable, like horror, comedy. It's all acceptable at the movie theater. And though, if your character speeds down the highway in the movie, it might crash. So there are, it's like instant karma. I love those videos. Like your character still experiences instant karma, but it's all a movie, and it was all great.
Mm. Also, like you can choose you can choose to be in a comedy or you can choose to be in a drama, and you can feel all the emotions but not attaching to it. You just laugh when it's funny and cry when it's sad, and 10 minutes after you're good. I don't know. That's fantastic. It's a good um I mean, I really like the way I never heard before that our life is a movie, and but it's a really a good image for the detachment, that you can have all emotions but just don't grip on them. And yeah, I really like that part, but I still not really understand the no responsibility, but it's okay.
Well, it's interesting you say don't grip on them because I had a Buddhist over for dinner once and she was talking about clinging. And she said that in Buddhism, you're not supposed to cling to things. And whether that be an idea of how things should be or what should have happened, or so maybe this is kind of developing that non-attachment and non-clinging state of like, don't get so worked up about what happened. Just be like, oh, okay, everything is at it. I think this is bringing us towards a peace about what is acceptance.
Mm, yeah,
Okay, well,
yeah,
oh, sorry.
yeah. So yeah, he says he speaks about cramping and acceptance in the next chapter actually. But yeah, that is really the core of this part. Yeah.
Well, like, okay, here's an example. Okay, so I'm going through a breakup and my band has parted ways. Okay. So the thing is you can look back at that and be like, oh no, and then I did this, and then they did this, and then this happened, and my band is now broken up. Or you can be like, everything is as it was supposed to be, and we are now parting ways. And like, see how I'm like more detached already by thinking of it like everything was as it should be. Like, and I think that's the lesson here is that you can fret over what could have been better, different, or you can accept the movie as it played. Like that's how that movie went.
Yeah, and you can't replay what is done. So it's waste of your time and energy to think about it. You you maybe you can learn a lesson and do it differently next time, but that's it. Mm.
Yeah, and I also think that like we're now up to that scene in the movie, the scene right after the band broke up, right? And I've seen movies in which then the band gets back together. I've seen movies in which the band stays broken up. I've seen like we don't know what's going to happen next, and it's kind of like exciting and interesting for me because I'm not you who, was in the last scene in which you and your band were breaking up. Right? I'm in this scene where you're then talking to your friends about it.
Well, it's interesting
Mm.
because as an astrologer, like I've been trained to watch everything like a movie because I'm like in this transit, the band broke up. I feel like I'm not allowed to say I'm enlightened because that's a non-humble, rude thing to say. And though I can say as an astrologer, I've been watching things like a movie for many years and I have that muscle trained into me.
Mm.
So I'm okay
Good.
with this episode. I'm like okay with the episode where we broke up.
Hmm. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Real good.
Of course, in the episode, I have to write in my journal a lot and lament and crochet it out. Like it's not like I just was like, okay, band broke up. I'm just like, oh my God, the gnashing of teeth has begun.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. And now you get to feel all those things.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't cried a tear about it, but I've crocheted a lot of stitches about it. You know what I mean? So,
Nice.
okay.
Mm.
I didn't mean to get so real on our episode.
Oh
Mm.
no, we're real.
Okay. Okay, well, what do you guys think of this lesson that we are supposed to live in the now? We're not supposed to obsess on the past or the future. We're supposed to enjoy the now.
Yeah, that's not new, but and that's true. And we have just this moment. The past is past, and the future we don't know about it. So yeah, he has a quote from Eckhart Tolle, a German philosopher, and yeah, of course, he's really well known about the. Oh, Andrea's gone.
She's
She's
now uh
she's taking a book. Yeah, that one.
yes, good.
See, this is my Eckhart Tolle Power of Now journal, baby. See our
Uh-huh. So
Nice.
yeah, of course, yeah, all the drama emotions are tied to either the past or the future. So like fear is for the future, and I don't know, despair or sadness is about the past. So actually, the only emotion we have in the now which is attached to the now is contentment and joy and love and I don't know, happy and flow. That's the now. So if we could get rid of the past and the future in our mind and don't get attached to it and busy with it, we should be perfectly fine. But yeah, maybe we like drama.
If
Uh,
someone's cutting off your finger right now, then I'm like power of the future, power of the past. No, no, no. It depends on what's happening right now. Like if someone's smashing your toenail with a hammer, you're like, I don't like the power of now right now.
yeah, okay.
No, but no, I'm just being kind of Socratic about it and being like, is this really true? Do we always want the power now? But I do agree. Like in AA and recovery, they talk about future tripping when they're like, and then I was future tripping and I just got all in my head and like, you're not supposed to live in the future. And then if you're stuck in the past, it's usually past traumas. Like people rarely are like, and then in the past, I had 10 Dairy Queen ice cream cones and I was awesome. Like they're always like stuck in the past traumas. And so I think power of now, most of the time, the current moment is just perfect because
Yeah.
you're basically molding your current moment to be perfect.
Hmm. Definitely. Yeah, you create.
What about for longing for things from your romanticized version of the past?
Like I always see that as a past transit when people are like, "You remember when we used to go ice skating every day?" I'm like, "Yeah, during that one transit that is now gone." Like I'm like, "What's romantic about this transit? What's romantic about now?" Yeah, people do that a lot. But you'll never, but we know from astrology, you'll never recreate that past moment because that transit's got like that, and the planets never repeat except for every 16,000 years. It's like you're not going to be doing that again for 16,000 years. So,
Mm.
Mm.
well, what do you think, Jay-Z?
About what?
Romanticizing the past.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, I think it's like kind of the analog of future tripping. Yeah. It's like Claudia, like you said, it's like fear is uncertainty about the future, and then like lamenting the past is probably also fear that you will never be able to have that in the future. But it also isn't about now, the current moment now.
And I was thinking because we had a talk yesterday, Jay Z and some Kundalini Coven people, and we are speaking about vacation, and they gonna some gonna come to Aruba and some gonna go to Jay Z. So, but vacation is really the time when you are the most happy, but also where you enjoy the now the most. You have spent, well, you have, at least you are not working or doing the chores, or I don't know, you enjoy the now much more and more consciently, and you try to make good memories. And we should see our lives more like a vacation, even when you work, like to be able to enjoy each day even more and be present. Yeah. Yeah,
We
nice.
rarely have fear of the now. Like, I'm just thinking about this moment right now that we're in. Like, am I afraid that I'm going to overtalk? It's not fear. It's like I'm like careful not to overtalk because that's like a faux pas in show business, right? And like, but but like, but the thing is to undertalk would also be a faux pas. But the thing is, am I afraid of it? Like, because we get afraid of the future, right? But you don't really get afraid of the now. You like mold the now. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, am I talking too much? I'll be quiet. Like I'm being quiet too much. I'm going to talk. Like you, you have control of the now, and in that way, it's not uncomfortable. But the future is kind of uncomfortable because you don't know. There's these elements out of our control, and the
But
past you're uncomfortable with because maybe things didn't. You're noticing what didn't go well. I don't know. It's interesting.
Oh
mm,
yeah, maybe the now also, yeah, we realize we are here in these like flesh suits or whatever people call them. And then the now in this space-time continuum, like all you can affect is kind of the direction, pointing in the direction of what comes next. You can't affect where you are because we know we're right here. So we can't. I'm having trouble explaining what I mean, but like in kind of like a scientific physics kind of way, we can't change what our location is. We can only change the direction of travel.
Well, I feel like in the now there's a bunch of knowns. Like I know I'm here with Claudia. I know I'm here with you. I know what we're talking about. But if I go into the future, I'm like, oh, but I don't know what Claudia's mood's gonna be, and I don't know what Jay-Z's background's gonna be, and like I mean, I don't know. But but in the now we have access to all these knowns. You know what I mean? And so that way it's like a more peaceful place.
but yeah, but we have no free will, so we can't influence nothing.
She's tripping. She's free will tripping.
Yeah, you
Free will tripping.
It's fate tripping, actually.
And in the chapter free will, there is a quote from Albert Einstein, from because you were speaking about physics, and so the guy was busy with free will, and he said, um, people, yeah, we free will is an illusion. Huh.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm lost. Explain it to me.
Let's read a rando quote from the Power of Now journal.
Okay.
Whenever you notice that some form of negativity has arisen within you, look on it not as a failure, but as a helpful signal that is telling you, wake up, get out of your mind, be present. I guess presence is part of the now. It's like you're present in the now. But if you're in the past or the future, you're like out of presence with. There's something very like unionizing about being in the now. It's like I am here. I'm not making narratives, which you're not really supposed to do if you're enlightened. You're not supposed to put that ticker tape going on, right? Like everything in the past or the future is that ticker tape.
Well, I think the whole mindfulness thing it comes into play here, right? It's like, and what Eckhart Tolle was like telling you, be in the now, and like what that old school Ram Dass book, be here now. Like that's the thing. We keep forgetting that we should just only concentrate on the now. And we have to keep reminding ourselves, just like when you're sitting in meditation, your brain starts wandering, your thoughts start wandering off, and you have to keep corralling them back, corral them back, corral them back. Come back to the now, come back to that the now. And that I think is what he's saying in that particular quote is be thankful that you had something that jarred you into remembering, oh shoot, I got to be in the now.
Okay. I have some news for you guys.
What's that?
Mm.
It's always now. That's our next lesson.
Mm.
There's only this moment.
Yeah,
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Now. Wait, we just passed a now, and now we're onto this now.
that was the
Mhm.
old now. This
That now was so 5 seconds ago.
that
Mhm.
is, yeah, gone.
Mm.
Never to be recreated ever again, even though it was perfect. It was perfect for now 10 seconds ago, but it wouldn't be perfect if it was happening now.
No, no.
If we
Okay.
were acting like we did 10 seconds ago right now, that would be weird.
We've grown and learned so much, though, from like a minute ago.
God,
That's why we love the now. It's yeah,
it's always our best self. We're always our
yeah,
best self right now.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Every day in every way, things are getting better and better,
Hmm.
and including second by second.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, gee,
Mhm.
I just was thinking about how now spelled backwards is one, WON.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like if in we're in the now, we have one.
Mm.
All right, well, that now is over.
All
Mm.
right.
Now I'm thinking about the past, which is 5 seconds ago.
Mm.
Oh, dang.
But it's okay because everything we did was just as it should have been.
Yes, exactly.
Do you see how we're hyper integration specialists? We like as we learn these, we just integrate them immediately into the now.
Mm.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay. Now that here comes a lesson that is really profound, actually. Absorbed in something. Okay. He's saying enlightenment is the moment of peace when the Muppets are quiet. You remember the Muppets are the guys sitting up in the balcony talking about the movie, right? They're like blah 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 blah. And then he says when they're quiet, then that's the moment of peace. Now he said these are moments when we are absorbed in something, a book, a good conversation, making love, dancing, playing a sport, bending, singing something, and we're active and simultaneously experiencing inner peace. This is what they call being in the flow. When we're in the flow, the Muppets switch off and we're fully absorbed in the activity.
I know. I know. Feel flow grow.
So tell us,
I
that's your business name.
yeah.
Tell us
Yeah.
about the flow. You're a
Well, I think the flow is more in the second chakra and it's pleasure and it's enjoying life and it's being completely perfectly happy with who you are and what you feel. And um, yeah, yeah, pleasure, everything. Yeah, also the reason why we have a body is to have all those senses and enjoy things through those senses, because when we will be just energy back somewhere, we can't drink coffee. That's from Wim Wenders movie. Well, with okay, Peter Falk. Playing Peter Falk, really funny. Okay, so this person in the movie, Peter Falk, like Columbo, is drinking a cup of coffee, and he's speaking to an angel, and he can see the angel because he used to be an angel, and he said, I'm happy to be human because I can taste my coffee. So all the tastes, see, feel, love, whatever. It's fantastic. We have this body, we enjoy, and we are in the flow. But being in the flow is accepting life how it goes and trusting life how it goes. And me, I'm working on that.
Do you have any plans for
Trusting that
the
you have no free will.
That's why. I mean, how do I work on that if I have no free will?
Well, it's
But
in your fate to work on things.
Oh, maybe it's in planets. Saturnus is in Pisces now,
Oh,
or
Saturn
whatever.
and Pisces, that's true. So, Daisy, what are your thoughts on flow?
um, yeah. Uh,
That's profound.
Yeah. That was
yeah,
then,
that's
this is now, Claudia.
No,
See what he
come
thinks
on,
now.
take a second stab at it.
Oh, I got lots to say about flow.
tell us what you have to say about flow, Andy.
Okay, well, so I give this lecture currently called Mega Astrology and Mega Manifestation. And what I teach the people in the lecture is, and I learned this from reading ancient Hermetic texts, basically, which is that you're supposed to flow every transit through you and maximize flow in order to avoid disease. They say that when we don't flow our transits, we get into a state of dis-ease, right? So like they compare it to the teeth in the kid's face. You know, when you are born, we have a bunch of teeth in our face. And the planets come in with vibrations and they push on us and they push our teeth up and out. Okay. And they said it's similar with transits where they push on you and then you're like, oh my God, I got to make some beads. And then you got to go up and out. Like the reason we have to flow is that chi is coming in gravitationally through the planets, trying to push out our fruits of our vine, basically. And so when we don't make or do or build or craft or talking is one way to flow, right? It's chi coming right out of our mouth, right? If we don't flow out and we just get stuck, that's where anxiety is. Like a lot of people are like, I have so much anxiety. It's like built up chi where they just haven't floated out, basically, right? So it's like when we get into flow, we're literally like, so when my band broke up, it's like I'm responding by crocheting or journaling. Why? Because if just let the chi build up, I'm like, oh my God, my band, that was hard. But then like, and then what happened? And then, but then if I start flowing it out, I'm just like, oh, the band broke up. Like it's like chi management studies, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the second chakra is also creative, being creative, and you are also creative with your life, the way I say. But the guy says there is no free will, so you are not creative with your life. But finding an outing or something, finding a way to work out on your emotions, that's definitely flowing. Yeah.
Well, and what astrologers would say is that each of us has a different soul senses machine, a different
Mm-hmm.
chart, and so we flow differently. Some people have no interest in crocheting; their chi does not flow like that. Some of them go jogging. Some people go shoemaking. Like it really what we flow and how we flow depends on how we're built.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I understand. Nice.
I think this has to do with the chakras too, that like that those are the points that your energy gets stuck in and can't flow. So I think that um, the way that you've described anxiety is maybe one way that manifests blockages, but I think there are probably like categories of ways that people over the ages have decided fit in these kind of like different categories. And like the first one is like feeling your sense of belonging, that you like even deserve to exist and that you belong in some kind of community. You know, that's the first chakra. And then the second chakra is like Claudia was saying about like creativity or sexuality, bringing things into creating, expressing yourself artistically, like crocheting like cool characters or you know, quilts or whatever it is. You're starting with like a threads, and then you're making these creations or beads. You're making the beads, you know. Um, and then, you know, as it goes up, right? So your third chakra, like if you don't feel like you have your own will and are driving your life in a certain direction, and you know, the other side of that is like letting go of things that you can't control, like you were saying in the
Yeah, and let go is maybe the throat, but and the third chakra is more acceptance. So like
oh yeah, acceptance.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Well,
And then
astrologers would say flow comes out of all chakras. Like if you're a Gemini, you're gonna flow right out your
yeah,
throat chakra. If
yeah,
you're
and then
a Leo, it's gonna come out your solar plexus. Different signs govern different chakras and different body systems.
mhm.
This is just building on what Claudia is saying. It's not like saying I'm not saying yes, but I'm just saying yes and that it can flow comes out everywhere. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think all people, like, I mean, if you take your throat chakra, for example, like that's like feeling heard and understood and valued. Like everybody needs that. So not just Geminis, you know, but maybe it's like Geminis need to flow more energy through it, you know. I don't
Mm,
know.
mm.
Well, we all have a house with Gemini inhabited in our chart, and the sun or the moon goes through Gemini for all of us. Like we all actually have that body system. But if you have planets there, you have definitely more chi there, and that's what makes people different is the different chi that inhabits the different soul senses machine, which is what astrology is a study of that part of the thing. But you know, we astrology just knows some of the whole equation. The yogis know other parts of the equation, and like you guys
Mm.
experts at getting that flow to keep going and balancing the flow when it gets out of whack and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly that. And I would love it to be less out of wax and having less to balance, but yeah, it's like a life lesson, or you know, every time you grow and find new ways to yeah detach or learn or yeah absorb and flow, and yeah, there is always a new thing you can work on, a new layer or something. Yeah.
What do people look like when they're in the flow energetically versus not in the flow? Like what happens when people get into flow state?
Jay-Z, tell us.
I don't know. I think from my experience, when I'm in the flow, I lose track of time. Like I think yeah,
Yeah,
that I think it's one characteristic.
yeah, I think also like there is a glow to a person, like yeah, radiance, and yeah, on, yeah, ontspanning, but it's Dutch. Yeah, you relaxed face and body, and maybe also no illness, because I think when you're sick, you did block something or didn't work on something, or it was time to relax, so you get sick, or you know. So I think most of the time you can, maybe all the time, you can relate a sickness to something you have to work on. even pain in the back or headaches or yeah. So yeah, somebody in the flow will be healthy and radiant, I think.
That's kind of the enlightenment thing, like they will have light inside. Like so
Mm.
it does go with, yeah, so I like that description. Yeah, I definitely think people feel like they're flying, they lose time, and they say if you move your energy or you move chi, you feel like you're flying. Like, you never work a day in your life if you worked your transits is kind of the idea. Yeah.
So, and what do you think about the tie back to the author of Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting, and her way of saying that when your taps are open or your spigots or so, what'd she say? And like
Wow.
your valves, right? Thank you.
Mhm.
Your valves are open. So maybe it is like also when you're in the flow, you just naturally manifest the things that your character needs.
Yeah. Interesting. One of the things I deal with a lot with clients is when they have a high flow chart, because some charts are way more high chi than others, and they're stuck in like a day job and they can't get in the flow because they get their transits coming through and then they're like, got to do this job and they get like this all out of whack energetically. And so, like, for example, my chart's like really high chi and it's got three squares and it bursts and stuff like that. I'll go into like manias where I'm like, I got to get into flow for like 3 straight days or like, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Like I just get I'm go mania, right? Well, it's like it's crazy because it's like I have to do things where I like only work 4 hours of my day job during those transits, and then I get out and I'm making like beads like crazy because like I'll be have to get in the flow state or I'm like gonna explode. Like it's interesting to watch different charts mania with this flow thing. It's like some people are really high and up and down, and some people are pretty chill charts and they don't really have these surges in flow, and so. It's just I think flow is the key to health, you know.
Yeah. Yes.
Claudia, you know a bit about human design, right?
Yes.
Does that kind of line up with what Andy was just saying about like certain people need a certain kind of job because their energy flows a certain way? Does that line up with things from the
Um,
character?
I
And
think so, yeah, because you have like manifesting generators, and those person they can have 10 IDs in a minute, and every ID is a 1 million business. They if they have just to choose what to do, and they also are very good for they give IDs to other people. They don't give them all for them. So if manifesting generators say to you, Jay-Z, you should do something with your voice, it's fantastic. Yes, you go and do that because it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a fun thing to do and a success, or pleasurable at least. And then there are other people like me. I am a projector, and a projector is a guide for others. So I have to wait for invitations. Please invite me. And
You're invited next week.
fantastic. So I have to wait for invitations. I can't initiate nothing. But when people ask me for my help or guidance, they are completely open to it and happy with it. But I can't come in between people in a conversation and say, "Well, I'm a guide. I can guide you. Please, here is my card." It's completely yeah, I won't succeed that way. So it's hard. There is the Nike Just Do It. It's only for a category of people, like the manifesting generators. They stand up and they just do it, and that is their world. But for the major, or not major, but for a big part of persons, it's not working at all. It's not their kind of energy flow, and yeah. So that's interesting, and I really like that. And it's also interesting to see in a family how that work, yeah, and there you have open centra, defined and not defined centra, and that's also interesting. Yeah, it's really something I could dive in for years, I think, the human design, but I no, not yet. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's really interesting.
Okay, so the just let's lead into the next piece of the puzzle, which is the sandcastle analogy. So he's saying that a child can get busy building a sandcastle for hours on the beach, and be in a totally Zen state. And then the sandcastle gets washed away. This is like the Buddhists who do the sand things and they wash them away. And this is true happiness, you're saying. But adults lay on the beach doing nothing with their mind chattering because, they're not moving their chi. So they just lay there like, oh my God. And then the child here enjoys the afternoon and the adults are kind of tortured. So that's which is reminds me of why I don't love like people are always trying to get me to travel and lay on the beach. I'm like, why would I torture myself by letting my mind eat my face? You know what I mean? Like I would never do such a thing. Anyway, sorry. What do you guys think of this?
Yeah, no, and I think it's funny. I like to we can tell just like some of the things that the funny things that says that are going through the adult's mind is just like, oh wow, the weather's great, but the weather was better yesterday. Why didn't we come here yesterday? And how can that person over there wear that bikini like that? And why do they let dogs on the beach? And blah blah blah. It's so funny, the list of the funny things that totally do go through the adults' heads while their children are gleefully making things that will be washed away.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice, and yeah, I know you also know those moments where you're busy and you don't think if you make your beads, Andrea, you don't think, oh, or do you think a lot when you do them, or do you think like, oh, I do this one for this person and I hope they're gonna like it, and I'm gonna prepare them for that date and whatever, or are you just you have maybe both, or tell us.
Well, it's interesting because I went to the Portland Bead Society recently and there was an indigenous woman talking and she talked about how they say that the beads are the medicine. And as a mom and a leader of a school, and I have all these like things going on all the time, like this student's happy, this one's coming up, this I got my kid, like all this stuff. I have a lot going on that I actually have to solve, right? Well, when I bead, I literally watch the beads come alive, and I'm just delighted by the expression of God in front of my face. Like, and I literally lose it all. Like I just am totally at peace when I'm beating. So I will think about like, okay, this is a keychain for Claudia, and I want to thank her for being on our show or something like that. And she would like this charm. And I think about all that stuff when I'm preparing to make it, which is all peaceful stuff because it's not mean. Beads are inherently a nice thought form, right? But then once I get to stringing the beads, I'm just literally in peace watching it emerge.
Nice, fantastic. And Jay-Z, when is your happy castle moment, sand castle moment?
Well, lately I've been doing the miracle mantra meditation, which is like Guru Guru Wahi Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Wahi Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Wahi Guru Guru Ram Das Guru 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 Wahi Guru Guru Ram Das Guru. And like that 108 times is really easy to trance myself out. And it is a thing too. Like I have this pink light on it's a floor lamp, but that or it's like one of those lights that points up, but then I have a like a theater gel on top of it to make it like either kind of magenta or red. And I have my eyes closed, and so I can just, barely see or feel that. And like I watch the like sparkles in while I'm like looking here with my eyes closed, and
Mhm.
like that.
Well,
I did
mantras are such a
that.
chi runner. Like mantras and getting into the flow, like that is such a flow state.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when people repeat the 108 times, it's like that's enough to get all the chi out of you that's like built up in you. But Claudia, what's your sandcastle?
Well, the Kundalini is helping definitely. So I had a couple of great moments with meditation. I do Kundalini every day, and so that is really helping. But I'm doing a bit of mosaic, but I did stop. But I was doing mosaic, and and I've learned to sew with a machine, and that was really nice. So I made cushions and simple things, but that was great. And I'm outside a lot, so we are in the garden and in the nature and at the beach. That is fantastic on Aruba. You can enjoy the outside the whole year, and it's never get dull. I mean, really, I don't long for snowy winter, not at all. So yeah, I'm growing things. Yeah, I'm busy with the earth. Yeah, so many projects and little things. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's really interesting what we learned last week about aligning this stim search or the flow, getting in the flow with your dharma. So it's like I'm kind of at that phase where it's like I make beads, right? And I like to flow that way. But I'm like, how can I align that with my life purpose? I'm like, oh, I can make beads for people who've been on the show, who are my students. Like I can and then I feel like teachers, they give out Valentines to their students. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make beads for all my students. And it's not just like I just flow for no reason. I've learned to flow in a building, manifesting way. And so that's really interesting to me, is to plan to get in the flow also.
Yeah, I understand. I never thought about that. I am busy and wondering how the Dharma thing is gonna show up because I'm 56 and I changed career and the new career is not really flying yet. So it's a big question mark. Was that my dharma? And then I read my chart or try to, and then yes, it is. So please um, go through with it, follow on planting seeds, and one day, and yeah. So me, my dharma and the flow is already one, yeah, piece of work. So it's something I'm working on, but the creative part is for extra pleasure in life and creating something nice. I have no children, and I really like that we are creating this house, and I draw it and build it. And with Jan, my husband, we make it bigger, and he's working like every day in the garden. And yeah, so that's our creation, or what I will leave behind for the world to enjoy. And yeah, I hope my work will be my flow and dharma thing, but it's it's in the starting blocks still.
When you're in an hour with a client, do you feel like you're in the flow?
Oh, it's fantastic. When you see them coming in, like down and, like in in the blur and living like a happy angel. I mean, it's fantastic. I'm so happy myself. Yes. Yes. It's a fantastic push. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Daisy, how are you aligning flow with Dharma? Is that something you think about, or I know being a yogi is one of your dharmas. I feel like with your Pisces sun in 12, that is a dharma for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the other way that I get in the flow is like if I'm coding, then yeah, like all sorts of like, oh, just fix this. Oh, and make it do this. Oh, make it do this, and make it do this, and make it do this. Ah, it's like it's awesome and extremely creative. Um, so I align that with my work and my job, and my work and my job, I feel like I'm also, You know, I like to work for companies or in a job situation in which I feel like my talents there are contributing to a better world. So I think that's another piece of it. And also, like when I'm playing music, definitely I could just get lost in that for hours. I could, like, just start with a loop, create something, and then play on top of it, and play something else on top of it, and something else on top of that, and something else on top of that. So I do feel like the musical part is a dharma too, and you're helping me to, like, create this next album. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be an amazing thing.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I feel like you and I pairing up to do these videos is part of our Dharma and also do the Course in Miracles. Like, I think my Pisces moon and your Pisces chart is looking into existential philosophy and like the philosophy of living well and being happy emotionally on a very grand scale. And so I do think us choosing to flow in an infinity symbol back and forth has been very healing for me because I feel like it's like a talking to another Pisces is like we are both on our dharmas like together. So
Yeah,
not
yeah.
trying to say
That
that
is
you have to keep.
really nice, guys. I'm
We
happy
have
for
a really good connection with the chart.
Yeah, we do. We like floated each other for years, but then we couldn't figure it out because we were on different coasts, and then we just decided to like align, and it's been great ever since. But okay, so let's do one more for today. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Away with the Muppets.
Yes.
Muppets happen because we think we can control our life. So we believe we can choose what we want, what we think, what we feel, what we do. And free will actually makes us anxious. It's the free will of thinking we can control things that makes the Muppet ticker tape. Agree or disagree?
Of course.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a thing with this too because he said, "Do you choose how you feel?" If we could do that, then everyone would be truly happy. And if that were the case, then we would always no, we wouldn't choose to be moody again, never to feel depressed again. We'd eat healthy, we'd exercise every day, drink less, sleep more, and never be judgmental again, blah, blah, blah. I disagree. Like, I feel like some people love being, judgmental or love like being moody and really enjoy the drama of life that like if we wouldn't necessarily if we could change things we wouldn't so but maybe that is going to like we have no free will but I don't think that follows from like that we cannot choose how we feel. Because I do think that we can influence how we feel. And well, I don't know. Maybe when we start reading this book next month, this book tells you how to change how you feel. There are like kind of self-hacking ways that you can do that.
I really think happiness is something you can work on. I mean, everybody. It's happiness is a choice. It's hard to say that, but I'm sure happiness is a choice. I'm sure of it. I mean, once you realize that you can choose for happiness, then you would choose for happiness. But many people don't realize they can choose for happiness. And for me, the difficult part is still life is controlling you instead of you controlling life. Of course, I'm not controlling life, but there are little things I thought I was controlling, and then he said, "No, no, you are not behind the wheel." Um, yeah. So yeah, for me, that is the problem more than where come anxiety and happiness, and it's okay, but no control at all. Okay, I'm gonna freaking. out.
Yeah, I'm calling BS on this. Like, I don't like this part of the book. Like, I like today. I'm really into curation of things because it's like, I had this like thing happen I didn't really like, and I was like, that's it. I'm curating my life a little bit better going forward. And I was like looking up curation, and it's like choosing the best options for something. And I was like, oh yeah, if I don't like having someone over for dinner, I can choose to not have them over for dinner again. You know what I mean? It's like that's called life curation. Okay. It's like I'm not like a free will sub, like where I'm gonna be like nothing and I have no control over anything. Like I've been an astrologer for way too long to be like a sub and be like, oh yeah, I have no free will. Like if I felt that way, I would have been an unhappy astrologer for all these years. I wrote Astrological Remediation was all about the tagline I would say is we honor and accept the fated fates and we turn everything else into the greatest greats. And like I am not about being like I have no free will. Like that does not make me feel enlightened. So I just don't like this part of the book.
Yeah, it seems like we should act as though we have no free will because acting as if, wait, we should act as if we do have free will. Because if you're acting as if you don't have free will, well, what if you do? And then you just were just like lame and floated along through the whole time, right? But and what harm is it to act like you do have free will, except that they seem to think that we'll be more peaceful and accepting and not self-blaming if we act like we don't have free will.
Okay, what I've realized is the most healing way to do this, and I'm not saying I'm right, but I've been thinking about this for 25 years. Act as if the past was fated. So like I
Hmm.
can't change the past, like it is what it is. And then assume you have radical amounts of free will going into the future, and then you'll be happy. And then like you're like, can't change what happened. I tried, and I'm gonna keep trying my ass off too.
Oh, that's good. I like it. All right, so there's no free will in the past, so you don't have to feel guilty about anything. The now is just awesome. And then in the future, you actually try to direct things and but not in an anxious kind of way.
All right, that's a good place to stop. Thank you so much for your work today. Cla-
Fantastic.
Claudia, are you enjoying Jay-Z and I okay? Are we doing okay?
Oh, you are fantastic. I'm happy to witness this and
Well,
be a
we
part of it.
just, I just hope we're not over talking or under talking is like the big.
No, 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 no. Completely happy.
All right, well, it's all in the past anyway, and we can't control it. So,
Next time better. Let's not control next time.
I take no responsibility for what that Jay-Z character did this episode.
all right, I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
Bye.
All
Thank
right,
you.
bye.
Bye.